like the temperature's been warming up over the past few days. They say we're supposed to get a huge drop of rain too. And what did I read today? I guess the news was dominated about that story on how apparently US troops and so forth were killed with a drone attack. Is there anyone that took responsibility? The assumption is it's Iran, but apparently they're denying it. This one says, Iran denies role in deadly drone attack on US troops in Jordan as Iran-backed group claims strikes nearby. It says here, Iran has denied it was behind a drone strike that killed 3 US troops at a military base in northeast Jordan on Sunday, but an Iran-backed militia based in Iraq said it had carried out 4 attacks in the area. Regional resistance factions do not receive orders from Iran, and Iran does not interfere in the decisions of the resistance to support Palestine or defend itself, Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Nasser Kanani said at a press briefing Monday. The Iran-backed militia group Islamic Resistance in Iraq put out a statement Monday saying it had targeted a U.S. garrison at Al-Tam just across the Jordan-Syria border from the U.S. Tower 22 base that came under attack over the weekend, as well as 2 other U.S. bases in the region and an Israeli oil facility. A U.S. defense official said initial reports indicated that a drone flew in low and slow at the same time that a U.S. drone was returning to the Tower 22 base from a mission. Because the auto response features of the air defense system were turned off to avoid shooting down the returning American drone, there was little to no warning of the incoming attack. So it's kind of an interesting detail there on how is it possible that this got by areas where you would assume countries would have sophisticated technology and so forth. It says most of the roughly 350 US troops at the base were still in their sleeping quarters when the attack occurred in early hours in the morning. The accommodations on the base offer very little structural protection from an incoming attack. More than 40 people were injured in the attack, Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh told reporters Monday. And that seems to be the consistent story in terms of why this drone got by. Like this one says, mix-up at US base may have led to deadly drone attack that killed 3 troops. A mix-up at the US base in Jordan may have allowed an exploding drone to elude defenses, killing 3 soldiers and injuring at least 40 early Sunday in an attack American and NATO officials are blaming on Iran. Although that does make me think too, because like yesterday I was wondering what type of drone was it? Was it one of those Shahed drones that you kept hearing in the news? At the same time, when it comes to non-military drones, a lot of countries are pushing for things like remote ID to track drones and so forth. Wouldn't they use stuff like this instead, like for these American drones, as opposed to just turning off the whole system? Shouldn't you have some kind of device to communicate saying, okay, this is our drone, and then the other device you say, hey, it doesn't have anything, so shoot that one down? Isn't that a little strange? Or is it more for security reasons not to have anything transmitting on the drone? Although with that said, it sounds like they're not buying Iran's statement saying they had no input into the attack, because it says top US and NATO officials dismiss Iran's claim that it had no role in the deadly assault which threatened to fuel expansion of the Israeli-Hamas war, saying, quote, let me start with my outrage and sorrow for the death of 3 brave US troops in Jordan and for the other troops who were wounded. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said at a Monday briefing with NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, the President and I will not tolerate attacks on US forces, and we will take all necessary actions to defend the US and our troops. I've read some other perspective too, where there are some officials in the US, their immediate reaction was attack them now, retaliate and so forth. Holy smokes. Again, is this going to result in a war where that's kind of like the technicalities as well? To say, okay, you killed us first, now we're going to kill you. And you'll have this huge world war afterwards, huh? That would be unfortunate. I can imagine in these cases too, was like the topic I mentioned where let's just assume one side is wrong and they killed the other. Would they actually ever admit it, or the truth has to die with them per se? Like they'll keep perpetuating this fight and so forth to hide, I suppose, that error, if that is the case anyways. right, see you guys later.